Hi everybody, it's Louie again. I'm just going to be working on the Avro Speedster today. We're going to be work on the headlights, pop-out headlight doors. The one side I already have done because I wanted to figure out how to do it because it's kind of time consuming. It's a lot of research and development, and it's sometimes you make something and then you got to like change and redo it, and it's kind of boring content. So I'm going to show you how I did it, and then I'm going to do the other side. When I'm dealing with aiming the headlights, all I need to do to aim it basically is loosen this off, rotate this down or up. There's holes right here, and those holes right there will incrementally, very fine. I can adjust this very little bit and it'll change the aim of the headlight. And once I have them aimed up against a wall and test them by driving down the road to see my light pattern, then I'll know approximately where I need to have them and have them aimed. Here we'll go here like this. So I'll get a pair of vice grips and I'll clamp that in position. Now I need to clamp that right there because this whole base here is moving. So I need to clamp it. I think I might even go as far as to put a fastener in there. Clamp it, size it up, space it in the opening here, and then put a fastener in there to hold it in position. And if you can see right there, this frame right here needs to be clamped on to this little rib here inside the car. So I'm going to clamp it there, and then I'm going to center the headlight. And then once I center the headlight and kind of have an idea of where I want it to aim, then I'll put a fastener in there, and it'll be in close to where I actually want it. And if I have to, I can always move the fastener and make it so that it's got some adjustment, so that it's firm. There we go. And then this here has some slop right here, so I'm going to have to make a bracket that goes over top of this and mounts this so that there's no slop in this at all. Okay, so we got a fastener right there to hold that frame onto that rib of the tank, and that'll hold this so it won't flex anymore, and it'll be in position. So it should be good. Should be good, no flexy. Yeah, so once this is down, this comes straight out like that. There's about 3/4 of an inch on the top of the light and about 3/4 of an inch on the bottom. But I had to bend these lines down. I'm going to put a little retainer clip on it to hold them steady anyways, but I had to bend them down a little bit so that the light itself would clear. So that was just one thing I had to do. So I have some little aluminum brackets here that I'm going to use, and I've discovered that I'm going to need to put like a little ear on here, so when this goes over top, to hold that firm, I'll bend those ears so that they're in their proper spot. That'll hold it firm. Then there won't be any movement, or very little, once it's all clamped down. I mean, once there's bolts in there and it's not just a pair of vice grips holding it. And this here can go in and out, and it won't scrub on the side of the opening. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll get a fastener in there. So I'm going to MIG weld a little tab right on the side so I can mount that little aluminum ring that holds the cylinder. So I got this little ring right here. And I'm going to hold this cylinder firm in here. And I need a little metal tab like that. And I need to weld it right there. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So there we go. And then I'll need to weld one on the other side here onto this one. And I might have to remove that cylinder to do that. So, I'll unlock these vice grips. Move this back. So that's going to be there, so I need it right about there. So we'll put this tab right here. So I think what I'll do is, I think I'll drill this side. That's what I'll do, I'll drill this side. I'll just set that right there like that and drill these two holes. And I think I'm going to sharpen this drill. So I take these cobalt drills and I sharpen them. .15-degree angle right on the money. So we'll get this in. So I'm going to put a washer on the bolt and drop the bolt through the hole. Needs to be already adjusted because the lid is not closing where I want it. So it looks like it needs to go back already. So let's make sure of that by oblonging the hole. There's where it's got to sit. It's got to be tilted back. And that's not really what it's supposed to be doing to make it fit. So I think I need to get the weapon out, fire up the compressor, and ream those holes out. Some stainless steel bolts. Push this headlight all the way in. It's right there. And that looks pretty good. ½ inch. And I need a fastener to go through there and hold that. So Need to hold the screw steady. Until I get a tack on it. There we go. And then this here is going to hold this light down like that. So maybe before I put that nylock on and melt it, I should let that cool down a bit. Okay, we'll throw some holes in those bolt holes. Bolt that other light on. A couple pretty washers. Okay, so that's that. So now I just need to sort this drag out on this thing here. There's a bit of drag on it because the hole here I got is kind of off-centered, and I think I need to ream it out a wee bit. Didn't account for it being offset slightly. So I missed some footage. Basically, let me go back here. I didn't turn the camera on. Basically what I did is I took the ball peen hammer here, just beat it so that it's like pounded out, kind of a bowl shape with lots of little dents in it. And now I'm just going to go over to the English wheel here and just iron all that out, and then try it on the side of the car and kind of read it and see what it looks like. Okay, so we got ourselves a nice bubble and it's smooth. So there we go, we got a bubble and it's, got some track marks in it, but I don't care. I'm just trying to stretch that out. So now I'm just going to beat on it again with a hammer. There we go, we got some more walnuts. So we'll drive over the walnuts in a bit. And flatten them out. So there we go. It's kind of walnutty. Alright. It's getting higher. Okay, so we'll roll her out now. Let's try this, see how it's looking on the side of the car. Let's see how close it gets to the shape of this one. If it covers it and it's getting close,
I mean, this is touching here almost, and that's touching there. It's riding up on top, so we're getting real close. Getting really close. Oh wow, look at that, eh? It's getting there, so now I gotta roll the edges. I gotta shrink the edges so they roll. And then once I get it so that it fits over the light and it fits on the side of the car perfectly, then I'll hold it up here and I'll lay it out with a marker and redo this line again. So we're trying to get like a curve of the car. Just basically baiting it into submission. So it looks to me like it needs to be stretched in the middle yet. Still needs more stretch. See how much bump we got going on there. One more time, we'll take a look here and see how the fit is. Because it takes a long time. The first one I did took me 4 hours to make. Now, looks like I'm clearing. But I'm all the way to the front. I think I'm going to put this in the English wheel and give it a curve on the back here. I'm going to give this a little curve right at the back of the bump, so it kind of curves it to the car. So we're going to get a different wheel and we're going to try that and roll that out a bit. I'm going to shrink this. I'll probably have to do this a couple times. After I trim it, to get it closer to the size, I'll be shrinking the metal that's closer to the dome, closer to the bowl. This is just going to kind of make it fit the side of the car a little bit better, because it's got the curve of the car. This area right here on the stump, like really good. I'm going to go to serious whacking. Use this plastic face hammer. It's too bowed that way, so I have to flatten that out a bit. This angle here has got to fit smaller curve to the front of the car because it narrows at the front of the car. this. That looks pretty good. That's getting right up there. Like the other one, it's getting right up there. So it fits right over top almost. So I'm kind of happy with that. Just got to trim it to size now. So it's is it against the light? Nope, it's not hitting against the light anymore. But it's just out of sync here. It's kind of twisted, and it's because I've been stretching the heck out of the middle of it. It's made it kind of flat there. You flatten that out a bit. There's a gap at the bottom. So I'm going to shrink this bottom lip here. And that'll suck it in. And then I'll trim it. Needs more trimming up here than down there. Looks like it could use some stretching on the sides because the headlight is touching there and there. So I need to stretch it a little bit more in there. So I'm going to give it a whack with a hammer. That once again. It's like this here needs to be cut off again. One more time. So let's so there's the size it needs to be. So I think I'm going to trim it more on this side. So I'm just going to take a little bit more so it looks like it's still hitting the light. It's still hitting the light, and it's hitting the light right there and right there. So I need to move it up. I need to big that up a little bit. Big it up. Big it up, boy. It's like this side here needs more up. So I'm wondering, can I adjust that light by lifting it up a wee bit? Yeah, I might just end up shimming that light a little bit. Put a shim underneath it and tilt it up so that it fits here, because it needs a lot here and a little bit there, and I don't need it. So let's roll this. Let's try this again. Yeah, it's right there that it needs it. So I think I'm going to shim up the light a bit, I think. It's really close. Yeah, that light needs to be shimmed up. It's low on the front, on the bottom here. It's low, and I can put my whole fingers in here, and I can't get my fingers in there. So this should go up a bit. So in order to do that, I'm going to put a couple shims under those bolts. So I think I'll do that. Loosen these off and put a shim under it. So I'll take the whole light assembly right out once again and shim that light up a bit. And you know, that's just what you need to do. And when you do it and you nail it, then it's done. And it's awesome. Alright. So, shims. I'm going to use a couple washers. And that's all I need is a couple washers. nut. Otherwise I'd have marks that I'd have to sand out. Rubbing now, but other than that, that's it. The backside I don't do nothing with. I just leave it raw with sanding and hammer marks in it, because then it shows that she was handmade. Okay, so now I just need to mount this on the car and make a hinge. I have some stainless steel hinge here I need to find. Yeah, there it is there. And then I'm going to mark it out the same length as the hinge on the other side, and then drill two holes in here to mount the hinge. And I have to bend the hinge a little bit because this here is curved slightly, so the hinge is going to have to get bent, just the lip. The hinge itself has to stay square, otherwise it doesn't open. When you bend a hinge, it won't hinge. So you have to keep it pretty square, so it's going to kick up out there and kick up out there, but ride low in here. So that's just how it is. It's the nature of the beast. So I'm going to give this a little hand rub, and then we'll fit it to the car. It's no sharp edges on it. It's nice and smooth. So I have a piece of stainless steel hinge here, and my marker. I'll mark out the same length of hinge as we have on the other side as this side. So I'm right there, and I'm going to mark it right there. So there's our hinge. So I'll just grind the burrs off it from the saw blade, and then I'm going to have to kind of beat it on the anvil on the wood block and see if I can't make it so that it kind of curves on these wings here and still has the same straight hinge in the middle, so it looks the same as the other side. So it goes like this on that side, then this is where the hinge has to go. And as you can see, there's a gap there and a gap there, so I need to take more out of the middle so the hinge fits flat into the opening. So by looking at the other side, I think I just have it centered. So I'm just going to center it. I'll make a mark right there. I'll make a mark right there. And then I'm going to have to take the snips and snip that out of there. So I'm going to take a ruler and rule that across there. A straight edge. And then draw a line. I think that's probably the best bet. Use a straight edge. A ruler. Draw a line. So there we go, that's what's got to come out. how deep do I want to go with this hinge? I want to have that sunk right in there, so I'm going to cut it out quite a bit more widthwise. And more in the throat. And then I can sand the rest of it out. Looking pretty good. Okay, so I think I'll file this thing a wee bit. Get a nice file. Here's a nice sharp one. There, that fits pretty good. I like that. Now, to make this hinge fit well here, so I want to bang this down, tucked halfway in between the car and the lid. That's the way I want to do it, right there. Okay, so I'll curve this back a little bit. Pretty soft stainless steel hinge. Alright, so there we go. That's perfect now. Now that's right curve. Now that's pretty good. A little bit more flatter here. Just adjust and readjust and readjust. So now I'm going to clamp that and I'm going to drill holes in there and put 2 screws in with acorn nuts. Because the lid gets the screws, and the hinge mounts to the car with pop rivets. Okay, so now I need to sort out where I'm going to drill the holes. Okay, so I'm just going to mark it out where I want this hinge to go, where I want the screws to go. So one goes about there, one goes about there. Okay. So I think I'm going to put a set of channel locks right there. Maybe I might go as far as to put a little piece of cloth to hold that in position and not mark it. Alright, now I need a drill. Oh yeah, yeah, ply away, ply away. Okay, now and I'm going to countersink it. What I'm going to do now is, now that I have the hinge very nicely mounted on the door itself. I'm going to mark it, fit it in place, mark it, and then drill the holes for the hinge on the car and pop rivet it onto the car. So there we go. So if I flip this down, I need a pop rivet right there, and a pop rivet right there, and then of course one there and one there, one there, one there, and one there. But those ones can go in after. Let's put these two in first to hold it where it belongs. So I need to cut this out. I need to cut it out there and there. So straight edge, a ruler, and cut that out. Grind it out, cut it out. I think I'm going to grind it out. Use the flat wheel on the grinder. I'm going to need more than, oh, this is 40, this should do it. And the headlight's in the way. So I guess I should take the headlight assembly completely off. And what's cool is this all on bolts with one bolt. Probably more on the ends. Okay, so we're deep enough because these corners are hitting when it opens. take out a little bit right here. Yeah, it looks like it needs to come out here more. Yeah, right there. Right there. Okay, so it looks like a bit more out of the top corner here. A little more right here. Okay, and then a little bit right there. Okay, so now I just need a pair of ice grips. Clamp it and drill it. Oh yeah, I see. Yeah. Yeah, it's double there. And then it goes single again, so it's kind of tilted. about there. That's where I gotta fucking fasten that. Doesn't hit at all right there. So, looks like there will be a hole welded up there. And I'll put one right here. And one right here. I can actually bolt these for now. I'll bolt them. And then when I get countersink this hole, for the screw head. Then we'll take this screw, put that through there like that. Check it for countersink. It's terrible. It needs to be sunk more. Much better. The knot on. Ratchet. That's tight. Take this off. We'll adjust this hinge so that it's clearing, and then I'll put the channel locks back on again. Slightly hits the edge there. There we go. So I'm going to drill another hole right here. Another bolt in here. A little higher. A little over farther. Like right about there. Countersink it. Nut and screw in. magnetic screwdrivers. You love them and you hate them. Okay, so we'll make it sort of flat. Such a hard thing to get into. Looking around the side of this car. And there we go. One pop-up headlight door. It fits pretty good. Fits not too bad. A little bit of a gap there. But considering the circumstances of that just fixed it big time. That fits way better there. This here could use a little bit of a there. Needs a little bit of love right there so that it's not fitting at all. And right there. Alright, so that should do it. That should do it. So now I'll mount the headlight in and we'll give it a try. And I still need to put a bucket on here. A spring and put the headlights in. So we'll put the headlights in now. Because it's scraping right against the light. So the spring will hold it the rest of the way in. But there's something. Okay, here goes nothing. Will it work? sorted out with a shut off and then a spring that will pull that shut. So basically that's as far as I'm going to go on this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.